Brought to you by WikiVD Documentaries. Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11 is a 2001 American comedy heist film, and a remake of the 1960 Rat Pack film of the same name. The 2001 film was directed by Steven Soderbergh and features an ensemble cast including George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Don Cheadle, Andy García, and Julia Roberts. The film was a success at the box office and with critics, and was the fifth highest-grossing film of 2001.
Soderbergh directed two sequels, Ocean's 12 in 2004 and Ocean's 13 in 2007, which make up the Ocean's Trilogy. A spin-off is currently in production with an all-female cast. It will be released on June 8, 2018.
Plot. Following release from prison, Danny Ocean violates his parole by traveling to California to meet his partner in crime and a friend Rusty Ryan to propose a caper. The two go to Las Vegas to pitch the plan to wealthy friend and former casino owner Ruben Tishkoff.
The plan consists of simultaneously robbing the Bellagio, the Mirage, and the MGM Grand casinos. Ruben's familiarity with casino security makes him very reluctant to get involved, but when he starts to think of it as a good way to get back at his rival, Terry Benedict, who owns all three casinos, Ruben agrees to finance the operation.
Because the casinos are required by the Nevada Gaming Commission to have enough cash on hand to cover all their patrons' bets, the three predict that on the upcoming night of a highly anticipated boxing match, the Bellagio vault will contain more than $160 million. Danny and Rusty recruit 8 former colleagues and criminal specialists: Linus Caldwell, a young and talented pickpocket; Frank Hatton, a casino worker and con man; Virgil and Turk Malloy, a pair of gifted mechanics; Livingston Dell, an electronics and surveillance expert; Bashar, an explosives expert; Saul Bloom, an elderly conman; and the amazing Yen, an accomplished acrobat.
Several of the team members carry out reconnaissance at the Bellagio to learn as much as possible about the security, the routines and behaviors of the casino staff, and the building itself. Others create a precise replica of the vault with which to practice maneuvering through its formidable security systems. During this planning phase, the team discovers that Danny's ex-wife, Tess, is Benedict's girlfriend. Rusty urges Danny to give up on the plan, believing Danny incapable of sound judgment while Tess is involved. But Danny refuses. When the plan is put in motion, Danny goes to the Bellagio in order to be seen by Benedict, who, as expected, has him locked in a storeroom to be beaten by a bouncer called Bruiser. Bruiser, however, is a friend of Danny's, and he allows him to leave through a ventilation shaft to meet with his team in the vault.
Linus poses as a gaming commission agent and reveals to Benedict that one of his employees, Ramon Escalante, is actually Frank Hatton, an ex-con. Linus and Frank stage a faux confrontation in Benedict's presence so that Linus can steal the vault access codes written on a piece of paper in Benedict's jacket. Yen is smuggled into the vault by the Malloy brothers to assist in triggering the explosive from the inside.
Saul sneaks explosives into the casino vault by posing as a wealthy international arms dealer who needs especially secure safekeeping for his valuables, and then pretends to have a heart attack that draws the security men's attention away from the vault monitors, and is subsequently treated by Rusty posing as a doctor. Bashar activates the stolen EMP device to temporarily disrupt the casino's electrical power, allowing Linus and Danny to drop down the elevator shaft undetected. As Benedict attempts to restore order following the power outage. Rusty anonymously calls him on a cell phone that Danny had earlier planted in Tess' coat.
Rusty tells him that the vaults are being raided, and that all the money will be destroyed if Benedict does not cooperate in loading half the money into a van waiting outside. Benedict observes video footage of the vault that confirms Rusty's claims, and complies in moving the money, but orders his men to follow the van after it departs, and calls a SWAT team to secure the vault in the other half of the money.
The SWAT team's arrival results in a shootout which causes the incineration of the half of the money left in the vault. After assuring Benedict that the casino is secure, the officers depart. At Benedict's insistence, Benedict's men following the van discover it is being driven by remote control, and that, instead of money, it contains duffel bags full of flyers advertising prostitutes.
Benedict realizes that the vault video feed he had been watching was pre-recorded, as the vault floor in the footage lacked the Bellagio logo, which had only recently been installed. A flashback reveals that Danny had used the vault replica to create the fake video Benedict had seen. The rest of the team posed as SWAT officers, and took all of the money in the vault when responding to Benedict's call for police assistance.
Benedict then returns to the room where he left Danny and finds him still there, apparently still being worked over by Bruiser, leaving him with no way to connect Danny to the theft. As Tess watches via security surveillance, Danny tricks Benedict into saying he would give up Tess in exchange for the money. Danny then says, "All right, I know a guy. We were in the joint together. Anybody pulls a job in the western US, he knows about it. Give me 72 hours. I'll find out who took your money." Benedict orders his men to escort Danny off the premises and inform the police that he is violating his parole by being in Las Vegas. Tess leaves Benedict and exits the hotel just in time to see Danny arrested. The rest of the team bask in the victory, silently going their separate ways one by one. When Danny is released after serving time for his parole violation, he is met by Rusty and Tess, and they drive off, closely followed by Benedict's bodyguards.
Production. In January 2000, it was announced that Warner Bros. Was moving forward with Steven Soderbergh on development for an Ocean's 11 remake starring George Clooney, Brad Pitt, and Julia Roberts. Johnny Depp was being considered for Linus Caldwell, while Luke and Owen Wilson were in discussions to play the Malloy twins. However, the Wilson brothers had to vacate due to their commitment to the Royal Tenenbaums. The decision to use an ensemble cast of movie stars led to various actors dropping out over conflicting schedules and asking prices that Warner Bros. Referred to as an affordable budget. Mike Myers, Bruce Willis, Ewan McGregor, Alan Arkin, and Ralph Fiennes were among those to drop out. Filmmakers Joel and Ethan Coen were considered as replacements for the Wilson brothers, but Soderbergh cast Scott Caan and Casey Affleck instead. Mark Wahlberg was originally cast as Linus Caldwell, but left in favor of starring in another remake, Planet of the Apes, and was subsequently replaced with Matt Damon. Clooney's commitment to Ocean's 11 forced him to turn down the lead role in Unfaithful. Critical response. The film holds an 82% certified fresh rating at Rotten Tomatoes, and a 74/100th weighted average score on Metacritic based on the reviews of 35 mainstream critics. People magazine called the film pure fun from start to finish, and included it in its end-of-year Best of Screen list. Newsweek said Ocean's 11 bounces along with finger-snapping high spirits, and said that while Soderbergh has made deeper films, this carefree caper movie is nothing to sneeze at.
Time magazine's reviewer Richard Corliss criticized the film, saying it doesn't offer much. In a poll during November 2008, Empire magazine called Ocean's 11 the 500th best film on the 500 greatest movies of all time. For Don Cheadle's role in this film, he needed to learn to speak with a Cockney accent, which drew harsh reviews from critics and is recognized as being one of the worst accents in film.
Cheadle commented on his accent, saying, "My British friends tell me it's a truly terrible London accent in Ocean's 13. You know something? I really worked on that accent. Went to London, spoke to people, got to know it. My agent said it was fine, so I'm stuck with this thing, even though everyone laughs at me.
So I sacked her." Of course, Entertainment Weekly put the Ocean's 11 heist scene on its end of the decade best of list, saying, featuring 3 impregnable Vegas casinos and 11 ring-a-ding criminals. Steven Soderbergh's 2001 Roll of the Dice provided the most winning robbery sequence of the decade.
Sequels. Soderbergh directed 2 sequels, Ocean's 12 in 2004 and Ocean's 13 in 2007, which make up the Ocean's Trilogy. A new Ocean's 11 film with an all-female cast led by Sandra Bullock is in development as of October 2015. It was conceived by producer Jerry Weintraub, Soderbergh and Clooney. Olivia Milch and Gary Ross are signed on as writer of the screenplay and director respectively.
Kate Blanchett, Helena Bonham Carter, Mindy Kaling, Anne Hathaway, Rihanna Fenty, and Nora Awkwafina Lum were later announced to appear in the film. The movie, titled Ocean's 8, will be released June 8, 2018.
Other adaptations. Takazuka Review adapted the movie as a musical in 2011-2012 in Japan.
The production was performed by Star Troupe and the cast included Aria Nizuki as Danny Ocean, Nene Umasaki as Tess Ocean and Shio Suzumi as Rusty Ryan. The 2014 Bollywood film Happy New Year draws heavily on the plot of Ocean's 11, with Shah Rukh Khan starring as the titular character.
Thank you for watching. Brought to you by WikiVD Documentaries. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.